Hello, beautiful friends. My name is Alicia Rose Becker, and I am your friendly neighborhood psychic today. So, this whole channel series is about channeling different energies from the collective consciousness. As you know, many of you know, I got my start as a pet psychic, and so we are kind of on this sidekick of channeling different animals, and today is the peacock. That's right. We are talking all about the beautiful version of ourselves and how to share our true colors and all of their unique gloriousness. So we'll dive into that today. Just a couple of reminders as always, go to roseco.co. That's where you'll find great information. Sign up for the email list. You will get notifications about our live discussion every month on the third Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific time. We usually have some really cool speakers coming through there, if not me and one of my cohort. So I am always excited for that. First time is free, so definitely come join us for Ask Alicia. And I think those are the big things right now. Do know I am currently working on a program called Free to Love. This program is high level, all the things I talk to clients about regularly. We are breaking it into two parts. The first part is all about freedom. It's about releasing yourself from whatever's holding you back. And the second part is all about love and how to enjoy your life a little bit more. So if that sounds of interest, definitely keep your eyes open for that. That should be released in mid-February, really pretty soon. So without further ado, we are going to get into our channeled mode and just kind of calm those energies down. You will hear me trying to give you some advice if you are attempting to do this on your own, some things to just some hints and tricks that have been helpful for me. So I'm going to try and start weaving those in a little bit more if you hear more about the intuitive guidance and how to use that practice yourself. So the first thing that I do is really calm my energy. I'll take anywhere from 2 to 10 breaths. It's kind of depending on the day and how you're feeling. I really want you to be gentle on yourself because every day we show up a little bit different, and that's wonderful. Show up as yourself. And so today I'm just going to take those deep breaths in, usually to a count of 4, and exhale to a count of 8. So inhale, 3, 4, hold, and you'll exhale to the count of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And those slow breaths are going to be really helpful to start to calm down that nervous system. It's going to put you into more of an observation state than a action state. And the reason that that's helpful is whenever we're channeling, we want to align our vibration, our frequency with the vibration or frequency that we're trying to channel with. And you'll see generally that's at the higher frequency. Some examples where that might be lower frequencies would be very lovingly like earth beings. So if you're trying to connect with rocks or trees or crystals, these all have very slow, calm, loving energies that are very grounded. So, it is this spectrum, and it's about aligning your energy to what you're wanting to connect with in that way. So, now that we're connected, our friend Mr. Peacock, he tells me his name is Gerard, and he is a very formal peacock. And he tells me about all the terrible jokes kids make these days. It's so inappropriate, and we should act like our parents taught us. And it's quite jovial of a talking to, if you will. So one of the things that really came through when we were talking about this was showing your true colors. And the kind of symmetry that comes to mind is that, if you are, and we're thinking more to male peacocks, they're known for their feathers, they're known for kind of that galore. And the idea here is that very potentially a peacock could never open its feathers and just walk around with them down all the time. And it's a bit of a comical thought, but so often we do that as human beings. We have these incredible gifts, we have these valuable inputs, and instead we just sort of stay quiet. We stay in our own soft space, and um, we are hindered by our own fear of what others may think on occasion. And I don't want you to think that this is all the time. What I do want you to gather from this is not only are we here with this energy, but there's also, each individual has their own energy. So not everything is always going to be applicable to you, but what you want to be sure when we, as much as we talk about someone else showing their true colors, we also want to ensure that we're not kind of falling into another's energy. And what I mean by that is if, I think you'll hear it most in terms of behaviors. Oftentimes, like the peer pressure comes to mind, but the reality is it is innately human to mirror and to assimilate to groups. What is the best for the group? It is very common for us to assimilate to that without necessarily thinking through that the group voice that we're thinking or hearing, at least, could be false information. So I would tell you too, when you are intuiting or channeling or anything like that, I want you to listen from your heart, regardless of what type of clair you are. So that'd be clairaudient, claircognizance, clairvoyance. There's a whole list of them, and they roughly match your senses. So there's a clear smelling, there's a clear tasting, there's a clear seeing, there's a clear hearing, there's a clear knowing, there's a clear feeling. These are all just varieties of ways that you can receive information intuitively. And similarly, if there's an apple pie sitting in front of you, you might smell it before you see it, but you are able to both see and smell and touch and taste. You have all of these senses available to you. It's about which one comes through most strongly, or even in the situation, right? So say I'm walking into a home, I smell the pie first, I don't even see it, and I walk in, oh, there's a pie on the table, great, I've seen it, and then later on we eat it and now I'm tasting it, right? I have all of these, but I haven't experienced the taste of the apple pie until I've already smelled it and seen it and touched it. And you kind of go through this cadence of behavior along with how you're able to retrieve those senses. And the reason this is so important is similar to how there are blind people or deaf people. In our intuitive sights, we have stronger and less strong senses. So some people are really good at smelling things, and some people cannot at all. And that's okay. It's about saying, this is who I am, this is my strength, and I'm going to use my strengths to their fullest good. The other one to realize too is this air of divinity is what I'll call it. And the beauty of divinity is to recognize that, and there's many ways to think about it. Some common ones, if you think of your physical body as a part of earth, as a part of nature, right? Then there is this soul essence that's coming through you that truly is immortal. It lives on after your body does. And from that perspective, you're able to start to recognize that your body, your whole physical form, it is a divine manifestation of these higher energies. And you can use whatever terms you like, but this universal energy that has created your body and connected it with this spirit will allow you to recognize that everything about you in your physical world is a reflection of a divine source energy. It is inherently divine. Anything about you, anything you do, anything you think of, you are inherently divine by definition. And another way to think about that is use the word spiritual. You're inherently spirited by definition. There is a spirit inside of you that is non-physical. You have thoughts that are non-physical. You have emotions that are non-physical. You have, and as much as our actions are in the physical world, once they've been acted, they are done. If you think of like doing a dance move or something, right? Your dance is done when it's over. And the reason that this is so imperative is because you can start to see yourself and everything that exists as divine and magical and inherently empowered. You are a powerful, sovereign, divine being, just as you are. And so often in our culture, we think, oh, I need to change this way, I need to change that way. Once I do this, then I can do that. And we start to put all these limitations and these pressures on ourselves. And the truth is that there's this beautiful opportunity for us to say, I'm already perfect. I'm already right. I'm exactly how I'm supposed to be. I'm exactly how I'm supposed to be. So I'm going to show up. I'm going to do my very best. I am always, always going to look after what is in that highest and best good. And as long as I'm always looking for what's best for me, I know that that is in alignment with what is best for the whole. Think about how empowering that is. At any point, you can say, what do I want to do? What is the best choice for me? And if you're listening to that really pure intention, that pure heart of yours, you can trust that it will always lead you exactly in the right direction, right? And so there's this agreement of, my energy is mine. I'm responsible for taking care of my energy. Your energy is yours. You're responsible for taking care of your energy. You're not responsible for me. I'm not responsible for you. What we are responsible for is working together, right? And it starts to make things a lot easier when you realize that you don't have to control everything. You don't have to be responsible for everybody. You don't have to take on more than you can handle just to make someone else happy, right? It's almost this saying like you don't have to do someone else's chores. You're responsible for your own. You're responsible for your duties and your tasks and being your best self and showing up with your unique tasks. And we all have them. That's what's so magical about it, is we all have these unique traits and tasks. The other kind of moment our peacock is reminding us of is that there are many, many colors and many shades in a peacock's feathers. And similarly, too, we were talking about blind or deaf people earlier. There's also albino peacocks with primarily white feathers. And it's this understanding that every single one of us is exactly perfect. The albino peacock is not more or less than the very colorful peacock, quite frankly. And well, I won't say that. In my color aesthetic, though, I tend to like things more clean and simple, where if there is too much going on, it's a bit distracting for me. So, I'm wearing all black right now, not uncommon for me. Because I have a very colorful personality, okay? And that's what helps me to offset that. I'm just joking at this point. So let's get back on track. There are so many different colors within the peacock's feathers, and almost like a snowflake or a handprint. We each have our unique fingerprints, and it's to say that one snowflake is better than the other snowflake. Well, no, that's absurd. That's just ridiculous. Snowflakes are snowflakes, right? However, when we see that across this diverse, I guess snowflakes aren't a breed, but snowflakes are a group of incredibly unique pieces of nature. And even so, think to that. Every tree is different, every being is different. All of these divine differences are what allow us as a whole to have these incredible abilities across a group. And so, like, think to this metaphor as if we all lived in a little village back in the day. Well, and I'm just choosing my family last name is Becker. It means baker, as into like bake bread, right? And so if you think back in the day, like if you had a whole village and everyone made bread, everybody was a baker, well, you'd have quite a few problems because you need someone who can, create the wheat. You need a farmer. You need people to harvest it. You need people to protect the crops. You need people to water it. You need someone to go get the water. And, you kind of get the point here is that everyone was the same, we would be in some real hot water. That would be a really big problem if we were all the same, let me tell you. And so on the flip side of that coin, it's a really big problem when you do not authentically share your gift with those around you. And so all of a sudden, where maybe before you weren't sharing because you were too shy or you were worried what people might say or things like that, when you start to kind of create this pro and con list at that bigger level, all of a sudden, when you're not sharing your creative gifts, you're negatively influencing everyone in your community. And sure, someone might be a jerk and say something mean, but who cares about that guy? And 100% more often than not, someone who says something that's rude to you is probably thinking about that about themselves. More often than not, when someone is mean or rude or in some kind of behavior in that arena, it has nothing to do with you. And that is frustrating because it speaks to this ability, and I appreciate our peacock friend coming through and kind of giving some pointers. So, that upsets me because I want to get along with everybody. I want everything to go well. I want us all to live in one big, happy, utopic family. And sure, we might have a couple hiccups in the road, but like, can we all just get along, people? No, we can't. So, at least not yet. I'll say not yet. We can't. But I think we're getting there. We're becoming more agreeable, and I appreciate that. So, our peacock friend, his advice too is to basically he's saying, oh, someone's mean to me, I just show them my feathers. Look how pretty this is. And it's kind of this fun tactic where you're almost like, oh, look over there. And I really appreciate it because effectively the advice is to just go distract that person and let them move on to the next one. It's got nothing to do with me. Get on out of here. There's something shiny over there, and I think you should go check it out. So remember too, we have these abilities where we don't need to get dragged into everything. And this is the message that was coming through earlier as well with the energy and not falling into people's energy traps, I'll call them. And an example of that is like some people need a lot of attention and validation. There are people who will not move forward with something unless someone else has already told them it's a good idea. And you can probably tell that, sometimes other people's opinions are hurtful and they especially when I was younger, they had a bigger impact on me than I think was warranted. And now I've gotten to this place where I know that if I do that, basically energetically, what I'm saying is that person's opinion matters more than mine, right? That person's opinion about me is going to make me change who I am so that that person is happy. That person matters more than I do about me, right? That's the crazy part. It's not that like, oh, we're, just as an example, we're talking about peacocks. What do you think of peacocks? Oh my God. No. Someone said something mean to you and you're upset about it. Don't let yourself be upset about it. And I will say that again and again. Some of this advice is much easier to say than it is to do. But if you, and almost any time when you start to get agitated or angry, give yourself that opportunity to say, well, why am I angry? And then, in an example like this, you can filter it down. Well, so-and-so said this about me. Well, does that matter? No, it doesn't matter. You are making it matter by turning this into a bigger thing. So I really want you to almost be able to like protect yourself in your own feathers, because what we are going to do is basically show up as our most authentic selves and say that this is just who I am. This is it. Me, 100%. And what's so special about that is that we are then allowed to relax. We're allowed to be authentic. We're allowed to say things that, maybe that isn't my strongest suit, but I'm really good at this. So we're going to try and put ourselves in positions where we use that best skill that we have. And so many of us have these things that we're good at. We are good at pretending. We are good at living in the status quo. We are good at just getting by. But the thing is that passion, that heart, that true joie de vivre for life comes through when we allow ourselves to be in our right livelihood. And what I mean by that is if you want to be a painter, go be a painter. If you want to be a singer, go be a singer. If you want to be a tech fiend, go be a tech fiend. Put whatever you want in this little Mad Libs formula. If you want to blank, go do it. Just go do it. And the more that you think about these things, you can start to realize that the only thing that's holding you back is your own choice, your own limitation. And a way to think better into that is that, just an example from my life recently, I've been really wanting to take this trip. And I've been telling myself all these reasons I can't go on this trip. Oh my God, it's expensive. It takes money. Oh my God, who's going to wash my cat? Oh my God, I'm going to have to pack a suitcase. Oh my God, who am I going to go see? Where am I going to stay? What am I going to do? How am I going to get there? And, the list goes on and on and on. But the reality is, when I start ticking these things off, okay, well, I've got some money, do I want to use that? Do I want to go make new money? Do I want to stay here or do I want to stay there? Well, gosh, now that the money's in my account, let's just go book it. Maybe I don't even need to book anything. I'm going to plan on driving. I've got some time. I'll spend or save up some money and then I'll do that then. There's like so many solutions. There are more solutions than there are problems. And what I mean by that is we live in this consistent rotation. And what is so crazy beautiful about that is whatever problem you can think of, there's about 35 solutions to it. And I will be the first to tell you that 87% of statistics are false, but this one especially is. Because what is happening on that energetic level is as soon as you ask a question, as soon as you create space for that answer to come in, it is already available. It's already available to you right now. There is a solution, and it's about aligning with that frequency of the solution. So I hope that makes sense. I am so in love with this peacock energy that just really says to go be yourself and to not worry about what other people say and to shine your true colors in that unique light. And I hope you feel inspired and empowered to do so. I will tell you, the more that you do it, the easier it gets. These things keep getting better time after time. And if you listen to some of the neuroscience that's going on, you're actually building new pathways in your brain. So the more that you do these things, the almost like ruts in a row, those pathways get stronger, and it's easier to go on that mental pathway. And I really hope that if your inner voice tells you something in the near future, that you just listen to it. That inner voice, you can trust it. You can know that it is on your side. It is effectively another part of you. And so as long as you're on your side, your inner voice will also be on your side. If you don't know what to do, take a few breaths, really tap into that heart center, and tell yourself something like, if I made the best decision possible with all of the knowledge that I know, today I would choose this, and move forward with that option. So I love you all so much, and I just want to say thank you for listening to this video. And again, I'm most active on Instagram, so follow me there, AliRose359. Website is roseco.co, and certainly look out for that Free to Love program. And I think that's it for us today. So thank you so much for joining us. Big nod to Mr. Gerard Peafowl, who is giving some of these notes for us. And he tells me the more formal term that is inclusive is to call them peafowl. Peafowl. So we will do that in the notes, and just a reminder to yourself that if there is a more authentic, appropriate name, then you are welcome to use that as well. I encourage you to be your best version of yourself. All right, lots of love.